Welcome everyone, this is your host Abraham L. Jaguar, a professional game master. First of all, this channel is proudly sponsored by Magi-Knights Awakening. In fact, this is the feature of this video. This is a tabletop role-playing game inspired by Super Sentai and Magical Girl type of adventures. You will find it in the description and in the pinned comment. This channel is also proudly sponsored by Dead Tree Studios, the publishers and developers of Dames of Asstoria, a tabletop role-playing game where you play as monster girls, experiencing high adventure in a world that doesn't fully accept them. They have recently released Daughters of Lamb. This is a pay-what-you-want tabletop role-playing game, where you play as cybernetic nuns with guns, looking for the missing pieces of their AI god. You will find it in their website. The links will be in the description and in the pinned comment. This channel is also proudly sponsored by the Red Room Publishing. Please check out their store for exclusive tabletop RPG products. They have recently released Savage Swords. This is a Conan-inspired tabletop role-playing game where you get to explore ancient civilizations and confront forgotten nightmares. You will find it in the description and in the pinned comment. So yes, tonight we are continuing the review series featuring Magi-Knights Awakening. We are going to talk about spell paths. And this is very important because there are many tabletop RPGs with magical systems out there, but Magi-Knights Awakening is one of the richest in terms of customization and style, but without overburdening the player with all sorts of technical details. Let's take a look. Once a Magi Knight has chosen a magic style, they further choose 2 of 5 spell paths to learn. Each Magi Knight is encouraged to individualize their spells to fit the theme and style of their character. So if you wanted your character to shoot out a rabbit made out of fire, using a spell that could be considered somewhat generic for everybody, or even specific, that is permissible. It is perfectly in tune with the lore, with the fiction. So all of your spells have that personal touch to them. There are some other nuances, of course. For example, you have access to all spells within a spell path that are equal to or below your max spell tier. The area of effect spells do not harm allies. That is excellent. How many times have you played the tabletop RPGs where all of the enemies and your companions are fighting in a melee, all mixed together, and you're just waiting for that moment for them to separate? Not with these spells. That's the power of the Magi Knights magic. If you cannot pay the spell intensity tax of a spell, you cannot cast it. This only affects spell tiers 5 and 6. Spells are broken into tiers using Roman numerals from 1 to 6. Some spells are simply called by their spell path and spell tier, such as Beam tier 1 or Curing tier 4, while other spells that have more complex abilities attached are given spell names to help universalize the understanding of what that semi-complex spell does. When it comes to spell attacks, this is done much in the same way that you perform a melee or ranged attack. Your objective is to hit or exceed the armor number. This means that beams can miss their target or have trouble penetrating through incorporeal barriers. There are various ways to modify a spell. For example, rushed spells. Some spell paths can be cast as rushed spells. When doing so, you spend a bonus action to cast them instead of a standard action. You can also overcharge a spell. You receive 2 exhaustion points, up to your maximum to receive one of the following effects, such as Beam. Add a number of d8s equal to your reputation level, minimum 1, to your spell's damage dice pool. Or Curing. You add a number of d6s equal to your reputation level, minimum 1, to your spell's healing dice pool. So even though if you are casting healing spells, they can still be quite devastating for the enemy forces as you are undoing every sort of wound damage they have caused. You also have spell qualities such as quickening. The barrier and summoning spell paths have the ability to quicken some of their spells to gain the listed effect. Quickening adjusts the type of action that is needed to cast a spell. You quicken a spell by increasing its MP cost by 1 spell tier. Now you also have things such as Death Watch. A spell with the Death Watch trait can be cast as a bonus action or a reaction when the Magi-Knight casting the spell is adjacent to an ally that has been reduced to 0 hit points. This does not prevent the damaged ally from gaining the initial crystalline fracture for falling below 0 hit points. And these are just a few examples. And there are so many styles and paths. You have the beam path, the explosion path, the curing path, the restoration path, amplify path, manipulate path, barrier path, transformation path. You even have advanced magic choices. Some magic styles and spell paths require more time to understand and play in contrast to the aforementioned options. Before you select any advanced magic choices, you should consult with the Magi Keeper because this could be quite specific to the campaign. Some of these options include divination, summoning, enhanced summoning. If you wanted pets like a magical companion, this is your game. Now, there is something else that I want to point out that is, I think, what very, if not specific, very peculiar. You also have cards to cast spells. You use this with the official Magi-Knights Awakening deck, or with your typical tarot or playing card deck. So nothing is like forcing you to purchase the official Magi-Knights deck, although I highly recommend that you take a look at it. The link will be in the description. This has its own set of nuances and, if not complications, but a certain depth to things. For example, at the start of the first combat encounter of the patrol phase, shuffle all of your spell cards together and have another player cut them to form your release deck. Draw spell cards equal to 3 plus your reputation level. This number is your hand limit, and any spell cards in excess of it are discarded at the end of your turn. Your spell deck and hand are kept between combat encounters in the same phase, so you employ these cards to cast your spells. If there is a player that perhaps feels a bit too bored with conventional magic styles or paths, consider this sort of card magic, the release magic style. And you have all of the details concerning the paths, the different spells, all sorts of effects that you can enact because of them. Very complete section overall. And this concludes this part of the review. In the next part, we are going to talk about gear, shards, and runes. I am very impressed from the theme or fiction side of things. You are encouraged to personalize, customize each and every spell to your liking. The effects are the same, but the appearance, the pizzazz, the flashiness of the spell, it is all yours. There are many tabletop RPGs that forget to put emphasis on this. And mechanically speaking, they are going to present some very interesting strategies and tactics. No spell path feels the same. And I also like the emphasis on having some enhancements for either attack spells or defensive or healing spells. Thank you for watching this part of the review series. Don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And thank you so much to those of you that are going the extra mile to support the channel. If anyone else wishes to further support the channel, consider joining as a member using the Super Thanks button. Take a look at the information in the description and in the pinned comment. This has been your host, Abraham L. Jaguar, a professional game master. And remember, master roleplay and you will master the game. Once again, thank you and see you later.